Okay. Had a request from a student for help with chapter 14. They said chapter 14 was really getting hard. So let's take a look at one of the harder problems from that chapter. So question 6, deriving the short run supply curve. Well, let's remember, where's that supply curve come from? The short run supply curve is the portion of the marginal cost curve above the average variable costs. So that's in the illustration. But in words, a firm is going to be willing to produce goods if it can charge a price that covers its variable costs. So let's just jump into this problem. So here we are dealing with a market for jackets. So we've got our cost curve, and we're going to consider what's this firm going to do at different price levels? What's the quantity of jackets that they would be wanting to produce? Okay, so at a price of $15. Well, at a price of $15, that's at the bottom of the marginal cost curve. So it looks pretty appealing in terms of efficiency, but we see that at that price of $15, that doesn't cover their variable costs. They're not going to cover their labor or their material for making those jackets. So they are definitely not going to want to produce. Okay? So they're going to be in the short run, they would want to shut down. Okay? And if they were to be in business at a price of $15, let's identify what's the quantity that they would produce. At a price of $15, they would want to produce a quantity of 30. At that quantity of 30, that's well below the cost of producing. They'd be producing 30,000 jackets at a cost of $80 per jacket. So that's definitely a losing proposition. So that's going to be a loss. Okay, let's consider another price. Let's go up to $20. The price of 20. Well, we're getting closer to covering the cost of the material and the labor, but still not enough. So we're still going to not produce any. We're going to be shut down. Okay? And we still have a loss. Okay? Because, excuse me, at that price of $20, the firm would choose to produce 40,000 jackets. Okay, again, they would produce where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. If the price is $20, marginal revenue is $20. They would choose to produce 40,000 jackets. So at 40,000 jackets, their cost per jacket, it's about $65. So they're still losing a lot of money. They're not going to want to produce it all. Okay, moving on to $25. So now it's going to get interesting. So at a price of $25, that's right at this price level, this firm is going to choose to be willing to produce their profit maximizing quantity. The best that they can do is to produce 45,000 jackets. Okay. Now let's think about what's going to happen if they choose to produce 45,000 jackets. They will earn a price just equal to their average variable costs. Okay. At that quantity of 45,000, the price of $25 is equal to average variable costs. So they would be producing jackets, and they would not be really covering the cost of their equipment, the cost of the manager. They would just be covering the cost of the jackets and the material and the labor involved. So for this firm, they've got a decision. They might decide to operate and produce 45,000, or they may just say, you know what, we don't want to be in this business. We're just barely covering. So here they would choose to produce either 0 or 45,000 items. Okay. Now their decision, they would face a decision: should they shut down or should they produce? Well, they're going to face the decision. They can cover their labor costs. Okay? So they could make the decision to shut down or produce. It's up to them. Each situation would be equally likely. Okay? Now, let's consider at that price of $25, if they're producing 45,000 of these jackets, what's the cost of each jacket? Well, the cost of the jacket is still far above what the prices they're charging. So there's still a loss going on here. Okay. So let's go on to our next price level, $55. At a price of $55. Okay. So here we're going to find that our firm is going to produce a quantity of 60,000 jackets. Okay? At a price of $55. Marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue at that price level, at that quantity of 60,000 jackets. So they're going to choose to produce 60,000 jackets. Okay? Now, at this price level of $55, they're going to be breaking even. Okay? Now, this is going to be a situation they're definitely going to be producing. Okay? Because they're covering all of their variable costs and all of their fixed costs. At a price of $55, they're covering the costs for both variable and fixed costs. So they're making accounting profit in this situation. Okay? So here, but they're making zero economic profit because at that price of $55, it's equal to average total cost. So this is a break even. Okay? Moving up to $70. Okay? At a price of $70. So now our price level's moved up a level. So now we're going to have a new profit maximizing quantity. So now the profit maximizing quantity is going to be, at $70, will be 65,000 jackets. Okay. Okay, so our firm here, let's consider, are they happy with this? Let's take a look. At this price of $70, they're going to be producing 65,000. At that quantity of 65,000, we see that the price is above average total cost. So they're definitely going to be happy. They're definitely going to want to produce goods, and they are making a profit. And the price goes up even higher to 85. We're going to have yet another higher production level at 85. We're going to have a production level of 70,000 jackets. They're definitely going to want to produce, and they're still making a profit. All right, moving down, moving along here. All right, so our next question here, we want to build the firm's short-run supply curve. All right, so at different prices, the firm is going to be willing to supply goods. So the first price level that they're going to be willing to produce goods is going to be at a price level of 25. And at that price of 25, they were willing to produce 45,000 jackets. Okay. So let's start making a little graph. When you work with Apply, and this might be a big hint for a lot of people, have an open spreadsheet, and that will help you as you work through these problems. Okay, so I just made a quick spreadsheet. Okay, at these prices, this is what the quantity of supply will be for one firm. Okay, so we've got those different prices. At 25, they're going to produce 45,000, 55, 60,000, $70, 65,000, 85, 70,000. Okay, so let's go back down. So let's lay out our supply curve, short-run supply curve. At a price of 25, whoa. Oh, MindTap, you're killing me. It's not letting me try another version. It's killing me. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if it's going to let me try another version. Okay. All right. Oh, it created a totally new problem. Okay, so we can work with this. Let's deal with it. All right, so let's play with this problem now. Okay, so now we're going to have some different prices. Okay, we're going to have price levels at 20,